AI is not just a tool, it's a catalyst reshaping the way we learn, teach, and innovate. At Atlas, we are deeply committed to this vision of equipping educators and institutions with the skills and insights needed for the future of learning. We are honored to collaborate with AIU, an institution that has long been at the forefront of advancing higher education in India. I look forward to an enriching week of dialogue, discovery, and inspiration. Once again, welcome to the FDP on AI tools for learning and excellence. I would now like to tell you all about the university, which is Atlas Skill Tech University. A NAC accredited institution in Mumbai is redefining higher education in India. In line with the National Education Policy 2020, Atlas offers cutting edge programs in design and innovation, management and entrepreneurship, and digital technology. Built with global experts, our model blends academic excellence, industry partnerships, and future focused learning. With world class faculty and infrastructure, Atlas prepares students for Industry 4.0 and beyond, equipping them with 21st century skills to lead, innovate, and solve real world challenges on global scale. About AIU, the Association of the Association of Indian Universities (AIU), originally established as the Inter-University Board (IUB) in 1925, is the apex body coordinating Indian universities to promote collaboration in education, culture, and allied fields. Legally registered in 1967 and renamed AIU in 1973, it now includes all types of Indian universities and international associates. Through initiatives like the Academic and Administrative Development Centers, AADC, AIU continues to drive academic leadership, institutional development, and capacity building across the higher education landscape. In alignment with the AIU, Atlas Skill Tech University has established its Academic and Administrative Development Center, AADC. The AADC is committed to fostering a culture of continuous improvement and innovation. It serves as a vital resource for advancing academic and administrative excellence through targeted capacity building programs, comprehensive faculty development initiatives, and dynamic leadership training, empowering educators to thrive in the rapidly evolving educational landscape. Now, a little bit about the FDP that is going to follow the session today. The current faculty development program on AI tools for teaching and learning excellence is designed to empower educators to integrate artificial intelligence into their teaching practices. Through interactive sessions and hands on workshops, participants will explore how AI can transform classrooms, enhancing student engagement, creating innovative content, personalizing learning, and improving assessment and feedback. Over the next few days, we'll dive into topics like AI in education, content creation, learner analytics, and ethics while getting hands on with tools such as ChatGPT, Gemini, and Gamma AI. This FDP is all about helping educators stay ahead, leveraging AI not just as a tool, but as a partner in shaping the future of teaching and learning. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Indu Shahani, the founding president and chancellor of Atlas Skill Tech University, Mumbai. Dr. Shahani is a distinguished academic leader renowned for her visionary contributions to higher education in India. She has served as the former sheriff of Mumbai and principal of HR College, where she pioneered several transformative initiatives in academic excellence, employability, and global education partnerships. Under her leadership, Atlas Skill Tech University has emerged as a new age multidisciplinary institution aligned with the National Education Policy 2020, fostering innovation, entrepreneurship, and technology driven learning. Dr. Shani has also represented India on various international education forums and continues to inspire educators and students alike through her commitment to reimagining the future of learning. Her distinguished career stands as a testament to her unwavering dedication to empowering the next generation of leaders, innovators, and changemakers. I would now like to invite Dr. Indu Shani to deliver the welcome address.
Thank you so much, and a very good afternoon To all our participants, I'm quite excited and delighted to hear that we have received an overwhelming response with almost 200 registrations and showing the enthusiasm of educators eager to explore AI in teaching and learning. It's truly a pleasure to inaugurate this faculty development program on all AI tools for teaching and learning excellence, jointly organized by AIU. And I think we are very honored to have AIU with us for this first program and with Atlas Skill Tech University. As you've just heard, Atlas University is a new age skill tech university amongst the first of its kind, created by the state of Maharashtra. And we are very proud to host the FTP. I'm also delighted to say that living in an era of artificial intelligence where everyone is talking about it, how to teach this to the students and how to engage with the students in it is something that I think it's important for us, all of us, to learn. And AI tools, new methods, experiments, how do we bring in creativity in the classroom? All this is going to be taught today, and it's going to be one of the most interesting sessions. Had we opened this up to the industry, I can tell you we would have had an indefinite demand from industry for this faculty development program. Next time, I think because normally academia goes to industry, let industry come to academia, and we will give them a training in AI and tools in teaching and learning, and for them also. So remember, AI is not just technology. AI is much more than that. It's enhancing learning, sparking curiosity, and empowering students to thrive in a rapidly changing world. Let me tell you, the students are already way ahead of us, time that the teachers caught up. So here's wishing you all the very best for this first faculty development program, which we are honored to have in association with AIU. Thank you so much and have a great session.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shani, for a very energetic and a very motivating inaugural address to all of us. Now it is my pleasure to introduce to you Dr. Rajan Velukar, Vice Chancellor of Atlas Skill Tech University and a distinguished academician and leader in higher education. Dr. Velukar has served as the Vice Chancellor of the University of Mumbai and has been a prominent figure in shaping academic policy and governance across India. With extensive experience in curriculum design, faculty development, and institutional excellence, he has played a pivotal role in advancing quality education. Known for his strategic vision and commitment to innovation in learning, Dr. Velukar continues to inspire educators and institutions to embrace modern pedagogical practices and drive meaningful impact in the higher education sector. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Rajan Velukar. I would now like to invite Dr. Rajan Velukar to deliver the welcome address.
Thank you, Dr. Aditya, the Honorable Chancellor and President of Atlas Skill Tech University. With her dynamism over a period of time, this university is born, and this university is every time and all the time trying to bring some innovation into the delivery of higher education. I also must thank the Association of Indian Universities, Dr. Pankaj Mittal and her team for giving this center to us so that we can organize very many training programs for teaching learning. I, on behalf of the New Age skill university, that is Atlas Skill Tech University. Uh, Welcome each one of you, those who have joined uh, this training program. Uh, I remember that whenever something new comes, we wait, watch, and then adopt. But today we are in the era where we don't have time to watch, understand, and then see what others are doing, and then we may do it. We don't have time. The speed with which the changes are happening, especially in technology, we need to bring that into our teaching learning process. And therefore, we need to understand what are the changes over a period of 500 years has happened. The first, over this 500 years, teaching tools have transformed as well as the learning tools have transformed. From simple, it was very simple, handcrafted objects to a complex ecosystem of digital, and now AI driven technologies have come into teaching learning process. We need to understand this evolution. All the time something new came, people have opposed and people have waited. But those who have waited, they were behind than the others, the newcomers, those who were the innovators. And therefore, we need to understand this transformation which has happened over a period of 500 years. So there was an era of print, mostly in the 15th century. That time, what they were doing is mass production of books. So several books used to come, and then those books used to go to people, and then through that they were learning. Then a era of standardized curriculum. This 15th century was standardized curriculum came into existence, and because of that, the mass-produced textbooks allowed for a consistent curriculum across different schools and universities. Then the knowledge preservation. You preserve the knowledge. And we have seen, even if I have a book, then I will not share with anybody. But then those books are preserved in the libraries. So that was the first era. The second era came in 19th century, the era of industrial revolution. So in this industrial revolution, the blackboards people started using that originated in late 18th century. And The first large wall-mounted blackboards were used in first US and then across the world. And then through this blackboard, the chalk and erasers, we call it chalk and talk, but chalk and erasers. So you write, you erase because the space is very limited, and then that was the complementary tools of chalk and erasers made the blackboard a reusable and highly flexible surface. Then the era came of broadcasting and audio visuals. In the mid 20th century, the radio came in 1920s. It was used for educational programs through the radios. They were broadcasting the program to the listeners. So on air, the teaching learning was happening. Then film and overhead projectors came around 1930 to 1950s. Then television came around 50s to 70s, and people have used this audio visual tools. Um, and Then the era came of in 1980s to almost 2010, where people have started using personal computers. And take it from me, whenever these new things came, initially people have opposed, but later they have started using it. And therefore, we will have to think very, very differently when we have to use AI as a tool, because AI is an agent. The speed is very, very high, and we need to understand it from that perspective. So personal computers came in 1980s. People have started using it. Then internet came in 1990s. Of course, in India, little later, because when internet came to India, it was limited to people. Then LMS came in around 2000, the learning management systems and e-learning. Mobile devices, through mobile devices, we have started learning around 2010. And then the era came, which I call it as 4.0. So this is the era of 4.0, which came around 20s and beyond. So now we are talking about personalized learning. We are talking about intelligent tutoring systems. We are talking about smart content and administrative automation. And now we have generative AI, which we have to use, and we have to use innovatively, because if you are not going to use, the students are going to use it. And therefore, we must learn this Gen AI in today's world, so that our teaching learning becomes more effective, more innovative, and more participatory. And therefore, this training program and workshop is very, very essential. And I wish the entire team of Atlas Skill Tech University and Association of Indian University for conducting this workshop. And I am sure all the participants will in real sense participate and give their inputs. My best wishes to each one of you, and I am sure there will be a lot of learning. The resource persons also are very good, and they are going to bring value to your teaching learning process. So thank you very much, Aditya.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for your kind words and inspiring all of us today. Now it is my honor to introduce Ms. Ranjana Parihar, Joint Secretary at the Association of Indian Universities AIU. A distinguished administrative professional, Ms. Parihar has made significant contributions to AIU's governance, financial management, and institutional growth over her distinguished career. She currently leads the Sales and Publication Division, ensuring the effective dissemination of AIU's research and policy publications to the higher education community. In addition, she oversees resource mobilization, where her strategic acumen has been instrumental in strengthening AIU's partnerships and funding initiatives. Ms. Parihar also heads the AIU Academics and Administrative Staff Development Centers, fostering capacity building and professional development among university faculty and administrators. Her leadership, vision, and dedication continue to play a pivotal role in advancing the mission of AIU and elevating the standards of higher education in India. I would now like to invite Ms. Ranjana Parihar to deliver the inaugural address. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Aditya. Thank you. Very good afternoon to each one of you present here. On behalf of the Association of Indian Universities, I warmly welcome all dignitaries from Atlas Skill Tech University, especially Dr. Indu Shahani, President and Chancellor, and the Vice Chancellor of the University, Dr. Rajan Velukar, who is also the Governing Council member of the Association of Indian Universities, and Dr. Sarika Chauhan Shekhawat, coordinator of this program, advisory committee members, faculty members, guests, and enthusiastic participants joining us from across the country for this particular faculty development program, which is on AI tools for teaching and learning. This FDP program is organized under the aegis of the Association of Indian Universities in collaboration with the Atlas Skill Tech University. Dr. Aditya is already trained about Association of Indian Universities, but as an ambassador of the Association of Indian Universities, I would like to state many of you may be aware of the Association of Indian Universities. But for the benefit of others attending this particular faculty development program, let me briefly introduce the organization. The Association of Indian Universities is the largest and most inclusive apex body in the field of higher education in India, bringing together all types of university, be it central, state, deemed, private, open, and institutes of national importance on a common platform. What makes AIU truly unique is its wide scope. It is the only organization of its kind globally that not only works in the academic domain, but also plays an active role in promoting university sports, nurturing youth affairs, and active role in the research field. AIU stands apart from the international counterparts such as the Association of Commonwealth Universities and American Council on Education. These bodies mainly focus on policy and advocacy, whereas AIU engages directly with the universities at the grassroots level and working continuously to strengthen academic standards, student talent, encourage youth participation in sports and culture, and build leadership in higher education. Since 2022, under the dynamic leadership of our Secretary General Dr. Pankaj Mittal, AIU focused on building capacity by establishing academic and administrative development centers across India. I'm very happy to state that presently we have 83 ADC centers across the country. These centers provide professional development for faculty as well as that of university administrators by offering training programs designed to develop future ready skills and support interdisciplinary research. And when we are partnering with Atlas Skill Tech University, we are proud to be one of these. We are proud that Atlas Skill Tech University is our proud AADC center, and we are pleased to partner with them for this particular valuable initiative. At Atlas, Sir has already explained, Dr. Aditya has also mentioned, at Atlas we believe in creating new paths in education through multidisciplinary learning, practical experiences, and innovation. It is an innovative university. This faculty development program is another step in that direction, showing our joint commitment to prepare our teachers for the fast changing world of education. The theme of this program is very important and timely: artificial intelligence. AI is not just something for the future. It is already changing how we teach, how do we learn, and how do we do research. As teachers, we must understand and use these tools so that we can guide our students better in today's digital world. Very importantly, this particular program is also linked to the vision of the National Education Policy 2020, which which mandates to use technology at every level of education and to continuously upgrade our teaching skills. By using AI tools, we are supporting flexible learning, personalized education, as Sir has mentioned, and the overall growth of our students so that they are ready for the global opportunities. AI can help our teachers in many useful ways. It can support content creation by preparing lesson plans and presentations and study notes. It can make assessment and feedback easier with quick grading and instant reports. It can also help in research by summarizing articles, analyzing data, and improving our writing skills. Tools like ChatGPT, which the program is covering, ChatGPT, Gemini, and Gamma, these are the examples of simple hands-on platforms that improve teacher productivity and give our students a more engaging learning experience. When teachers use these tools smartly, they get more time to focus on guiding students in creativity, problem solving, and innovation. So, in this particular faculty development program, uh, the participants will, they will be taking uh, they'll be learning AI in education, AI for content creation and learner engagement, AI in assessment and feedback, all those aspects, how AI can help us in all our higher education learning, teaching, learning tools. I sincerely thank the Vice Chancellor, Sir, Dr. Rajan Velukar, who is also a Governing Council member of Education of Indian Universities. And I've got close association with him. He has been associated with AIU for such a long period with us. So my gratitude to Dr. Velukar and his entire team for their vision and tireless efforts in making this program possible. With these words, I wish this faculty development program a great success and hope it inspires each one of you to bring change and new ideas in your own classrooms. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for those inspiring words. I would now like to move on to the main event. Introducing to you, it is my honor to introduce you to Dr. Nilesh R. Berad, Joint Director at the Maharashtra State Faculty Development Academy, MSFDA, Pune, an institution established by the Higher and Technical Education Ministry, Government of Maharashtra under the chairmanship of Chief Secretary. Dr. Berard leads statewide initiatives in faculty capacity building, governance reforms, and academic transformation, aligning closely with the vision of NEP 2020 and Viksit Bharat 2047. An alumnus of IIM Ahmedabad, Dr. Berard brings over 25 years of experience spanning industry, academia, and educational administration. Before entering academia, he held key marketing and leadership roles at Panacea Biotech, Ranbaxy Laboratories, and MAPRA Laboratories, where he successfully launched and managed several national brands. He has served on academic and policy boards of more than 14 universities, contributing extensively to curriculum design, academic restructuring, and management education reforms. An accredited management teacher by AIMA and certified NLP life coach, Dr. Berad has guided 12 PhD scholars, authored 5 books, published over 35 research papers in reputed journals, and holds 9 copyrights and a patent to his credit. With international teaching experience and numerous keynote addresses to his name, Dr. Berad continues to inspire educators through his work on generative AI, academic leadership, and institutional excellence, transforming education from instruction to innovation and from information to inspiration. I hand this over to Dr. Berad to begin the session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Aditya sir.
Thank you.
At the outset, good afternoon to all respected dignitary and dignitaries, especially Indu Sahani ma'am, Rajan Vilkar sir, then the people from AIU, Pariyar ma'am. So when we talk about the generative AI, so when Mr. Chintan Oza, one of the board directors of the Atlas University, they approached me whether I would like to talk on this or not. So I said that it's a nice opportunity to talk to on generative AI, because now generative AI is buzzword. And as you know, the generative AI, when we talk, it is more on the terms of using artificial intelligence. And currently, the artificial intelligence people have limited only to the chat GPT. Whatever is required, just put in chat GPT and get your answers done. So initially, I would like to say good afternoon to all my faculty members, fellow educators. It's privilege to join this faculty development program at AI Tools for Teaching and Learning Excellence, Generative AI. And I sincerely thank Association of Indian Universities and Atlas Skill Tech University for bringing together such a visionary platform. Now here, when we talk about generative AI, initially, if I'm going to the words generative, the generative itself divided into two words, that is generate, that is one is generation and the other is active. So today when we talk about Gen Z, the Gen Z is more active, and to keep them the active, if we are going to teach them in a routinized manner, the way we used to teach it to the earlier students, it will not help it out. So today's generation, with the explosion of the information, everything, they are quite well. Slides शुरू So it is clear. So here we are starting a truly defining moment. We are starting truly defining moment, and that is in human history a moment where technology and education are converging in a way never imagined before. Yeah, I think slides are visible to everyone.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yeah, thank you. So a moment where technology and education are converging to the rapid rise of generative artificial intelligence. As I told, it is generation. For today's generation, we have to keep them active. So by which method we are going to give this activism? So generative AI is not just another way of technological change, but rather it is a paradigm shift, one that has power to transform how we learn, how we teach, how we assess, and how we create knowledge itself. Again, I am repeating the statement that it generates, or it is power to transform how we learn, how we teach, how we access, and how we create knowledge itself. Just as in a printing press democratized access to the books and internet made informative available instantly. However, generative AI has made intelligence itself accessible, adaptive, and collaborative. Now, when we talk about the interest, what are the things which we want to frame it out, or what are things we want to work it out? We have to just put down the things on the chat GPT, ask for the repeat, and instantly you all are getting the cooked answer for that particular questions. So particular picture, it is, are we going to, with generative AI, are we going to become robots? Not at all. Because when we talk about the artificial intelligence, the word artificial has converted art. Art is how you are going to use it. So probably it is more on the terms of how we are going to use this particular generative AI intelligence. So going to the next slide. So the context, which is the defining moment. So here, generative AI refers to a class of artificial intelligence technologies that can create new content. That is going to be text, images, audio, code, video, even ideas based on the data which they are trained. Likewise, if I'm going to take the class of BBA or MBA, I can use the generative AI. Generative AI to give the student a boost. Now, these are the techniques which are available to the students. Now, how I can use these techniques to boost their thinking about text, images, audio, code, and everything. So, what are data? So, here major important thing which is happening or going to be there. It is more on the terms of what kind of prompts we are giving. So, unlike traditional AI, which simply analyzes and predicts, here generative AI produces outputs that resembles human generated work. Likewise, if you are going to give a prompt to the chat GPT that you want to have some kind of letter or any letter you want to issue, you give the prompt, your letter will be there. But does that letter is really going to convey your message? If not, then probably you are expected to give them the proper prompt what you want to communicate. That's why whatever takes images, audio, code, video, whatever you want to do it, you can do it with them. But only thing is that when it is associated with the artificial art is there, intelligence, how intelligently we all are going to use it. So applications such as ChatGPT, Gemini, Delhi, microjourney, and cloud had just few examples of generative AI. These tools can summarize articles. Right now, what students are doing, if they are not ready to read the book, because this is what we are generally finding it out. They are feeling hard to go through the Philip Kotler or Rajan Saxena when it comes to the marketing management. Rather, what they are going to do it, they are just taking the certain pages or certain concept, feed it to the generative AI and ask for the summary of that. So they are understanding the summary, but when it comes to the exploration, they are not able to explore it well. So the tools can summarize the articles, design lesson plan, generate quizzes, draft research abstract, create infographic, translate content, and even simulate complex classroom discussions. So people are generally using it now. As a teacher, we are expected to use generative AI in more decent manner. That is probably for anybody, whoever is going to have this particular classroom, or maybe the director or whoever is going to ask them, okay, provide me your lesson plan. So people are just logging into the chat GPT, Gemini, or Perplexity and asking for the session plan. But that session plan is really whether it is suitable for your students or not, that you have to take it out. You can plot the quizzes. You can plot the quizzes in the term, because when, as a human, when we are used to convert the quiz, generally it happens that what we used to do is one simple thing, whatever the old data is there, take down that, out of 10 questions, replace 3 or 4 questions and go ahead. But generative AI is able to give you the complete all the way new set of the quizzes based on its difficulty level. If I want to plan on any of the subject, I want to plan a quiz. So I have to give the prompt, okay, draft 10 questions on multiple choice 4, कौन बनेगा करोड़पति type, and then give me these questions, out of which 3 will be easy, 3 will be medium, and 4 will be hard. So according to that, I am going to get the output. So generative AI is generally works through large language models trained on vast amount of data, enabling them to generate human-like responses. This ability to generate not just retrieval to makes it technological, powerful companion for educators and learners alike. So generative AI is not a passing trend, but it is going to be the paradigm shift. It is going to be the paradigm shift. So it is going to, it has got the powerful way of teaching. Next. So what is generative AI? So the evolution of generative AI, it is AI creates the new text images and all. This is what we are saying, based on advanced large language model, popular model are GPT, Gemini, and Mid. So evolution and global adoption. So these things are coming up right now to India, but there is no big gap. Earlier, what are the technology happening at probably US, UK, it used to come to India at a pretty long time. But after the invention of internet and everything, whatever happens in any corner of the world reaches to us at a very quick level. So evolution of generative AI has been remarkably fast. From basic rule-based chatbots a decade ago, we moved to a neural networks, then transformers, and now to a multimodal AI capable in handling text, images, voices, videos seamlessly. Now here, when it is working specifically on large language processing model, that is, the generative AI has also started working even on the your different languages. Today, for ChatGPT can provide me output in any Indian language. So that is, it's a globally started adopting. So evolution of generative AI has been remarkably fast. In higher education, the first wave of AI tools help in administration and data analytics. So whatever the few years back, we are generally used to have the all things which are going to be there as a administrative support. So it is more into the administration and data analytics. Whatever BPO, KPO has formed, it is more on the terms of processing the information and going ahead with that. The second wave is supported to the adaptive learning platforms. Adaptive learning platform, different platforms are framed out and different platforms have started coming up, and those adaptive framework is started taking it out. And third wave is generative AI, which is different. it is entering into the core of the pedagogy. Now, when we talk about the pedagogy, probably pedagogy is the most common word which we are talking of. But when it comes to the adults learning, where majority of it is known as the andragogy. Whatever these andragogy things are there, that we are going to work it out well. So this, for what purpose generative AI is going to work? Specifically, this generative AI works with lesson design, student engagement. Now, as in an inaugural address, Dr. Rajan Veruka has said very clearly that faculties need to adopt these changes. So, what are the new changes you are going to give it? Because when you are going to use generative AI for student engagement, if you are framing them the quiz, students are also using generative AI for to find out the answers. Here, the skill of a teacher will be come in force. How do they going to frame the questions and prompts so as it will not be that way easily accessible or available on the even on the AI platforms? So assessment and feedback. Now many of the universities, they have started the assessment and feedback even on the, now probably I don't know whether you all have gone aware about it or not. The one students of IIM Ahmedabad, recent past, last year itself, has done his entire project on with the help of ChatGPT. But he has used the ChatGPT for the assessment of the responses. Now, these responses, summarization, assessment, and everything, and the entire thesis is very well acclaimed, and he has got the highest mark in that. Probably in IIMs, they are not getting the exceptional categories, but still they are given, where the person has used the available chat GPT things in a very proper manner. So research accelerations, when it comes to the research acceleration, many of us are using chat GPT for and everything else, more in the terms of generating, more in the terms of generating the research paper. Just give the prompt, I want to have a research paper on this, then it will give the headings and I will get the, but that is going to identify it into the different kind of plagiarism softwares. So the current citation of the scale and everything. So all these are the things which can be used by, which can be used by the teachers in a very, very effective manner. Now, universities across the world are already integrating generative AI. Globally, Stanford, Oxford, Singapore, Melbourne, many universities are across the world are already integrating generative AI into their system. For example, if I'm going to quote, Stanford University uses AI tools for the personalized students' learning pathways. University of Oxford is experimenting with AI-driven academic feedback system. National University of Singapore is integrating integrative AI into business and engineering curricula. Likewise, I will again go step by step. When it comes to the Stanford University using AI to personalize student learning pathways, identifying the students, the slow learner, weak learner, whatever things are given into the our NAC and NBA, whatever they are demanding, and we are doing it only everything on the paper. But Stanford has started using this generative AI to devise the learning path of each and every their students. Based on initial screening, they are giving them the complete their learning path, and according to them, those students are groomed for their future career prospect, future learning ways, on which segment, whether it will go to the middle management, top management, or what kind of potential is got, and which are and best thing what they all are doing. Best thing what they are doing, they are more concentrating on the strength of the students when they are doing the SWOT of the student, that is strength, weaknesses, opportunity, and challenges. They are more concentrating on the strength instead of concentrating on the weaknesses. Weaknesses they are keeping aside, but whatever strength they have got it, they are ready to frame it out more and more. Going right to the University of Oxford is experimenting AI-driven academic feedback system. Feedback in the both way, getting the feedback system from the student also, as well as giving the student feedback on what he or she has wrote in the paper in formative as well as summative statement. What I'm saying, in formative as well as summative statement, they have started giving them the complete output of whatever he or she has done in their academics. So what is the benefit of that? When you are going to have the feedback that I know that these are the XYZ thing which I am going to lack, I need to concentrate on that. So according to that concentration and everything, I can move ahead with my entire curriculum. So National University of Singapore is integrating generative into business and engineering curricula. That is already in India. Forward-looking institution, like when I'm talking about the forward-looking institution, IIMs and IITs are there, but there are many private universities that came in force. Especially when I'm going to talk about Atlas has also taken this particular Atlas Skill Tech University has also taken this particular advancement and framed this particular FDP to make students or make their faculties and faculty across India aware about the generative AI. They have begun the pilots and AI supported curricular design and assessment models. So majoritarily they are just using the AI for the curriculum design as well as assessment model. But again, I'm saying that whenever we are working with a private university, for them it becomes very easy to work out because their structure is their private university, the number of students, they are knowing what kind of number of students they are coming, what background they are coming, so it becomes easy. But a state university like Mumbai University or Pune University, it becomes very difficult. They have to make the syllabus or content wise, which is suitable even for a person sitting in a metro area, even going to the rural area. So this is very a big challenging thing for the state or private university, but private university has got very big edge over on all these aspects. So they can use this global momentum signals that generative AI is not passing trend. It's a new frontier of pedagogy. How we are going to use it? Because again, in formative and summative assessment, earlier we were more focused on the summative assessment. That is when the semester is over, at the end of semester exam is there. And practically many of us who have gone through that system where they are not learning or they are not opening the book even in the mid of the semester. 1 day or 2 day prior of the exam, we are opening the books and we are giving the exam and we are passing out. Now with this formative assessment structure, which is right now with more focus of NEP 2020 on a continuous learning basis, so it becomes very easy that you can use your generative AI techniques to assess the student outcomes, to give them the feedback. Because practically many of us are working in a very big colleges, having their own issues, having their own limitations. Then I'm teaching a class of 100 or 120 students. Now, these kind of two classes are there, giving the students individual feedback is not possible. Yes, probably it was not possible when it used to be the human minds. Of course, it is possible if they are able to give it, because when, as in my introduction, they have mentioned that I am alumnus. We used to get the feedback of our each and every assignment after the due date, before the next 24 to 48 hours. We used to get the feedback. So that way now you cannot, as a manually, you may not be able to give the feedback to each and every student, but by using generative AI, definitely you are able to give the feedback in a very, very proper manner. So when it comes to the generative AI, I have told certain things which are also positive, also negative. So with that respect, I just want to know, or I just want to ask you, our slides are visible?
Sir, the slides are not there, but I can see you.
Just a moment, give me just a moment.
I can see
Share
the slide. It's evolution and global adoption. I can see the.
Just 2 minutes, sir.
Okay.
Sure.
Sir, we can able to see.
Okay.
Yeah, there is no point in seeing me. I just want to show you the slides, so it will become easy for us to comment. So here I would just like to ask you the question. I have talked about the positive and negatives of generative AI. Now I would like to ask you, the audience, one question. According to you, so slides are visible now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So according to you, is generative AI is boon or bane? So audience is there with me?
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, ma'am, you are audible.
So it depends upon how we are using it. Generative AI can definitely be a boon if at all we are using it to augment our productivity, right? But if at all we are using it as a replacement for our intelligence, for our creativity, and only depending upon it, of course, and there are so many studies. Recently, there was a study from MIT that it is how fast it is making people dumber. So it depends upon how we are using it.
Right. Very true. It definitely depends on it is how we are going to use it. So if we are using it just as what I'm not aware about the ma'am's name, so
Hi,
the
I'm
way she
Dr.
has
Preeti
mentioned.
Saxena. I'm Dr. Preeti Saxena, sir.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So according to Saxena ma'am, when she has said how we are going to use, so there is, I always say my students also one thing, there is a very thin line between knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge everyone has got it, but how to use it, that wisdom is very rare. So for ChatGPT or whatever generative AI is there or available, that majority of the generative AI is used, or rather it is misused in our country probably, or probably everywhere, I can say. So when we are talking about the boon, as a teacher, when I'm going to make it, it enhances teaching efficiency. So how it is going to enhance the teaching efficiency? Can anybody explain? Can you just quickly give me a recap? If you are using generative AI, how it is going to enhance your teaching efficiency? Because when we are having the participant across India, probably sharing the experiences across India will be very easy and useful for all participants. Can anybody tell? Okay, no problem. When we talk about enhances teaching efficiency, it enhances my teaching efficiency in multiple manners because it is going to, as I mentioned earlier, it is going to make you work out into your slides, your text, video in such a differential manner that it looks impressive. So whenever I am teaching my students, the same kind of slide setup way I am going, same slide of way I am promoting, same slide of the way I am dealing with them, students get monotonous. Now here by using this generative AI, I can use or I can lay out my slides in a very different manner. Now whatever slides you all are going through, right now those slides I also taken certain base on the from the generative AI to create these particular slides. Then to have the layout, so 2 or 3 or 4, 5 different kinds of AI tools I have used to create this kind of impacting slides. So it enhances my teaching efficiency. It enables inclusive learning. When I'm going to mention, it enables the inclusive learning. So this students get themselves involved. Student is going to play their things. So inclusive environment is created and it gets innovation and reach. Now, many times when we are saying, many students, they are having different kind of ideas in their mind. Whether those ideas can be nurtured or not, those all things can be verifiable with the probably with generative AI. And when we talk about the brain, as I mentioned in the research, we all are using these particular things in a just to draft our research papers. So there is a risk of plagiarism and biases. And probably that's why when we are going to talk about the retraction of our research papers, India stands on number 1 for the retraction of the research paper. Because recently, majority of the papers have been retracted. And there is a very classical example, Antonio, the exact name I'm not remembering. One of the leading professor from Harvard, she has been sued for the retraction of all the papers. So this is one bend. The other one is over reliance on the tools. So many times, even if I'm not ready, I'm over relied on the tools. So just quickly before going to the class, before preparing for my classes, rather what I am planning, I just go try to find out something on the generative AI content and go to the class. So it's over resilience on the tools. There are ethical and legal issues. That ethical and educational issue we can definitely discuss. So when we are, again, I'm going to summarize, when we are going to talk about the boon, the it can empower teachers to do more with less time. Routine tasks such as drafting assignments, creating rubrics, or summarizing research can be automated. It can make learning inclusive by offering content in a multiple formats and languages, supporting students with the diverse learning needs. As I mentioned that in Oxford, they are giving Stanford, they are giving the students a learning pathway. So they are specifically using generative AI for this. It can bridge geographical and resource gaps, making quality education accessible for beyond urban centers. And it can also fuel the creativity, enabling students to experiment, simulate, and co-create knowledge. And again, the vein is unchecked use may be lead to the plagiarism and erosion of original thinking. Biases embedded in the data can have the fairness. Over reliance may weaken the foundational skills if students, as Saxena ma'am has rightly said, that many of them they are by using artificial intelligence, they are started forgetting their human intelligence. They are using artificial intelligence and they are making people more and more dumber because the thinking itself we are given it to somebody else. So the truth, therefore, is not to choosing between boon or bane, but it is how we govern and guide its use responsibly. That is more important. So, so this video is. So there is a video. I'll just show you how. But that link is not working. Leave it. Go to the presentation. Next. So, what are the ethics responsible use of generative AI? So, ethics policy and responsible adoption is more critical in generative AI. So, ethics must be soul of technology in education. The power of generative AI must be always be balanced with principles of integrity, fairness, and accountability. Again, I am saying ethics for any kind of technology, how we are going to use it. The ethics is going to be the soul of that particular technology education. I don't. Slides are visible? Yeah. Ethics is soul of technology in education. So the power of generative AI must be always balanced with the principles of integrity, fairness, and so educators and institutions must work towards a clear policy zone. The first one is transparency and attribution. Student must know when and how AI being used. Must know how being AI is used. AI generated content must be acknowledged appropriately. Right now, when we are in the process of drafting certain case studies with IIM Ahmedabad, so there they have mentioned that okay, they have come out with the policy how much percentage of AI can be admissible in case studies or research paper. Going beyond to that, they are not accepting or they are not interested to focus upon. So transparency and attribution. So probably I don't know. Many of the universities are still not came out with their own kind set of rules and regulation. It comes with the AI. So academic integrity and fairness. So academic AI should support critical thinking, not replace it. As Saxena ma'am just being she has only talked, that's why I'm taking her name. So it should support the critical thinking, not replace the thinking. Then, as it is rightly mentioned by her, many studies are coming forward which is going to claim that artificial intelligence is taking care on the or taking on the human intelligence. The people who have created artificial intelligence are also of human, they are also humans. But still, majority of the chunk of the people they are using artificial intelligence and they are living their critical thinking. So equity and access, that is the technology must not widen gap between privileged and unreserved learners. Data privacy, sensitive academic and personal data must be protected. So there are different UNESCO and global ethical frameworks are working on that. Globally, several frameworks are emerging UNESCO recently has outlined the guidelines for ethical AI in education. There are some countries, they are giving their first AI generated minister for the AI content itself. So the countries like Singapore, Canada, and UK are already incorporating AI ethics and academic governance. India too is moving in this direction through policy framework aligned with excuse me, aligned with NEP 2020. So here, institution can begin with the classroom level AI codes of practices, setting clear boundaries and expectation for students and faculty alike. Boundaries are not only meant for the students, boundaries are also meant for the students. So key ethical issues in AI is biases and fairnesses, that it explores how AI systems can be perpetuate or even amplify existing biases. So whatever if we are going to give the prompt that for AI, where generative AI we are supplying, okay, I want to have the output in this particular manner. AI is going to give the output in that based on your bias. So we can't claim that AI is biased, but we are input itself is biased. So accountability and reasonability, who is accountable when AI system cause harm? Privacy and surveillance discusses the ethical implications of AI in data collection and surveillance. Transparency and exemplarity, the importance of making AI decisions understandable and transparent to users. So, how we are going to enhance the educators' productivity? Now, this is what we have seen the what generative AI is there and all. Now, question arises: how are we are going to enhance the educator productivity? Generative AI should never be seen as a substitute for teachers. Generative AI should not be always seen as a substitute for the teachers. Rather, it is a strategic assistant that can free us from the repetitive tasks and allow us to focus on what matters most. That is mentoring, critical thinking, and human connections. What? Generative AI is never seen as a substitute for teachers. Rather, it is taking it as a strategic assistant that can free a teacher from repetitive tasks and allow him or her to focus on what matters a lot, that is mentoring, critical thinking, and human connection. For example, automating repetitive academic tasks, AI assisted lesson planning, research support, these all things are there. Now, if I'm going to quote an example, then to enhance the educator productivity, a teacher can generate a complete lesson plan aligned with Bloom's taxonomy using AI in minute. What kind of subject you are using? Based on that, a teacher can definitely generate. So, automating the repetitive academic task. Now, this year I am going to have the one subject, and every year I'm just lesson plan, the same lesson plan, I'm changing the rates and submitting. It's not acceptable. You have to add the variety, and it becomes very easy to add the variety by using generative AI. So another example is that AI can generate the multiple versions of assignments, case studies, or discussion prompts adapted by the different learners level. When we are there in I am Ahmedabad, again I'm saying there is one case of Arvind Eye Care. The one case has got multiple attributes. The one case which we have seen for the quality data management, one stream we have seen as a strategic platform for how to this Arvind Eye Care has increased. One is their marketing, one is finance, one is entrepreneurial venture. So one case has got multiple attributes. Now these multiple attributes can be identified and based on the group of our students, those who are going to work out specifically entrepreneurial group of students is there. We can ask them to go through the case as a perspective with the entrepreneurship. The group which is interested in marketing, ask them to go through the marketing. So AI is going to help you out to give the multiple versions of one single assessment test or generate multiple versions of your assignments. Then again, the another example, rubrics and personalized feedback can be created at scale with tools like GrandScope and Magic School AI. Rubrics and personalized feedback. This personalized feedback, as a Stanford is going to draft a learning pathway for each and individual student. So the same way, it is going to have the AI tools like GrandScope and Magic School AI. They are going to help you out to give the personalized feedback. Tools such as Canva AI or Tome can help to design visually rich learning resources in a minutes. In research, AI can assist in literature review, summarize, data visualization, even preliminary drafts of proposal. Especially when you are going to have the AI tool like Open Knowledge Maps. It is going to give the which kind of subjects or just give the your core theme. You will get the n number of literatures available. So it becomes very easy to find out as the probably gap, research gap into that particular segment. This means educator can spend more time thinking and guiding and less time in typing and formatting. So it's a again paradigm shift from transitional work to transformational leadership. What I'm saying, for a teacher, generative AI is a paradigm shift from transactional work to transformational leadership. So, what are the classroom transformative example? Adaptive learning and real-time feedback you can give them. Gamified quizzes and visual content you can airport, research and idea generation is there. Personalized learning pathways you can provide. So, what are the generative AI and research support when we talk about it? So, research traditionally are time-intensive processes. Many of us are using generative AI for the research purpose. That okay, draft the introduction on so and so subject, draft the learning objective on so and so subject. But does it really going to help? It is not. So research has traditionally time incentives process. It can accelerate it ethically with the AI tools. So here generative AI can summarize and synthesize large volume of literatures through Zetero, through Medley, through different. We are searching a number of literatures. There are pile of literatures, 20, 50, or maybe the hundreds of literature papers we are reviewing. But putting down to the in a sequential manner, you can always take the help of generative AI. But not just summarize it and give it to me. It will again catch into the plagiarism. So how we are going to do it? So generative AI is going to do that, summarize and synthesize large volumes of literature, suggest possible literature, research direction, or conceptual framework that many times we are, or many of us might be writing the papers. They are writing the papers in a different manner. But when we are going to have the look towards the ABDC journals or Scopus QA journals, practically many paper it has observed that they are having some kind of conceptual framework. A theoretical framework is there to support it. Now, this conceptual framework or theoretical framework, probably many frameworks are likewise. I'm working on one of the paper, and for that purpose, one theoretical framework which is even not known to me, despite of spending almost more than 27, 28 years in marketing and that to teaching. So that framework, then again, I have just gone through all those details and everything, and then I found out that yes, it has given me a literally a very, very good kind of direction towards my research work. So it supports my academic writing, formatting, and referencing, help to identify the pattern, trends, and gaps in dates. So all these things are going to be there. A study by Massachusetts Institute of Technology, that is MIT, showed that integrating AI into research workflows reduces time spent on the initial drafting by nearly 40% and allowing scholars to focus on analysis and critical thought. Now, again, I'm coming back to the same point. People are using, when it is mentioned that MIT is more focused, are asking them to focus for the analysis and critical thought of the data, doing their structural equation modeling and CMT, CUT. So this kind of techniques. So rather, people are even giving that data to the generative AI and asking them to, okay, now evaluate the data and give it me the output. So this is not the right method. So in AI, this is not a replacing scholarly rigor, but it enhances the efficiency and depth. Now, when we are going to talk about again this kind of all classroom technologies, everything is going to be there for the future. So, future directions in AI, I think AI and human rights are there. So, across globally, it is adopted well. Universities are already creating the structured AI adoption strategies. Specifically, when we are going to talk about University of Melbourne has an AI literacy program embedded in all undergraduate courses. Stanford University has set up AI teaching fellows who work alongside faculty to integrate AI into teaching. University College of London runs specialized AI labs for educators to experiment with pedagogy. In Asia, countries like Singapore and South Korea are building AI-ready teachers training ecosystem, ensuring that the AI becomes a tool for empowered rather than exclusion. So it is that ad hoc experimentations are going on. So the future direction of AI in ethics is very well AI in human rights. So many times it may happen that AI might challenge or support the fundamental human rights. So whether now with AI, the wrong use of AI, I can say that whatever they are into the different using the images, then body of someone, face with somebody else. So all these are going to violate the human rights. That's why many celebrities, you are trying to find it out. Many celebrities are going to the court to protect their own images. So AI and global convergence is there. So classroom transformation through AI is very, very clear. Let us visualize what an AI empowered classroom when we talk about road ahead. So let's visualize what an AI empowered classroom looks like. For example, just I am mentioning a literature faculty uses ChatGPT to generate multiple interpretation of a text, encouraging comparative analysis. One text, the meaning or usage of that particular text, verb, proverb, whatever we are using in a different manner. Can a management professor can use Kahoot and Kupripod to run live gamified quizzes that adapt to the student responses. A STEM instructor uses Gamma or Canva AI to visualize complex theories into the concept maps and infographics. Assessment. Assessment feedback is auto-generated with AI and yet personalized with the faculty insights. The outcome is not just better delivery, but the deeper engagement. So what Road is? It is not over the deeper engagement right now, inclusive learning. So Road ahead is what? It is more to build AI literacy and confidence, create AI codes of practice aligned with NEP 2018 Viksit Bharat. Educators are leaders for the responsible innovation. Now, just we can have a short video to understand what these all things means to us.
Artificial intelligence. It's not science.
Is it visible?
Yes, sir, it's visible and we can hear the sound, sir.
Science fiction anymore, is it? It's here. It's in our schools, it's on our students' phones, and it is changing the game for education at a speed that's, well, a little dizzying. And for us educators, that brings a ton of excitement, but let's be honest, a lot of uncertainty too. So how in the world do we handle this? Okay, let's get into it. So here's our game plan. First, we're going to really nail down this new challenge that AI is throwing at us. Then, we'll look at the global roadmap UNESCO has put together to help us find our way. After that, we'll break down the 5 key skills every single teacher is going to need. We'll map out how you actually develop those skills. And finally, we'll talk about what it truly means to be a teacher of the future. You know, the AI-powered classroom isn't something we need to prepare for in the future. It's already here. It's a huge shift, no doubt about it. It's disruptive, but it's also pretty much inevitable. It's changing how we teach, how our students learn, everything. So the million-dollar question for all of us is, are we actually ready? Now, I know what you might be thinking. A quote from UNESCO's constitution about war? How does that fit in? But stick with me, because it's the perfect way to frame this. When you're facing something as powerful as AI, the same idea applies. The real preparation, the best defense against any risks, it all starts right up here, in our minds. It's about building a solid mental framework before we even touch the tools. This is the question, isn't it? This is the one at the heart of everything. We're not just talking about some cool new software or a fancier smartboard. No, no. The transformation we're seeing goes way, way deeper than that. It goes right to the very core of what education is. And this right here, this is where the change really hits home. It's not just a straight line between teacher and student anymore. You have to imagine AI as this new third party that's suddenly in the room with you. It's a mediator. It's influencing your lessons, how you deliver content, even how you grade. So suddenly we have this new triangular relationship that we all have to figure out how to manage. So with this massive change happening, you'd think there would be a huge global push to get teachers ready, right? Well, get this. A recent UNESCO survey looked into it, and by 2022, the number of countries that had an actual formal AI game plan for their teachers was just 7. Yeah, 7. That number tells you everything you need to know about the huge guidance gap out there. Most of us are just being left to figure this out on our own. But that's where the good news comes in. That's starting to change. To close that gap and help us navigate all this uncertainty, UNESCO went and developed a global roadmap. A clear, straightforward guide that's built for every educator in every country. So what is it? It's called the AI Competency Framework for Teachers, or AICFT. Now, don't let that official sounding name scare you. This is not another top-down mandate or some crazy technical manual. Just think of it as a tool designed to empower you, to give you the confidence to use AI safely, effectively, and most importantly, ethically. And, this whole framework is built on some really solid values. It all starts with being human-centered and protecting the rights of teachers. The message is clear: technology serves us, not the other way around. From there, it's all about pushing for AI we can trust, making sure it works for everyone, and really advocating for that idea of lifelong learning. Okay, so the principles are great, they make sense, but what does this actually look like for you in your classroom on a Tuesday morning? What do you really need to know how to do? Well, the framework breaks it all down into 5 core competencies. All right, now don't let this table overwhelm you. Let's just walk through it together. Down the left side, you've got the 5 big skill areas. See how it starts with mindset and ethics? That's the why we use AI. Then it gets into the how, understanding the basics, using it in your teaching, and even using it for your own professional growth. And then look across the top. Acquire, deepen, create. It shows you that this is a journey. Nobody expects you to be an expert on day one. I know, looking at a chart like that can feel like a lot, but the whole idea behind the framework is that this is a totally manageable, step-by-step journey. It's a clear path forward, and the best part is you can start on it no matter where you are right now. So let's break down that journey. It really happens in 3 stages. You start at the acquire level. This is just about getting the basics down, becoming AI literate. Next, you deepen your understanding by actually starting to use AI in your day-to-day teaching. And finally, you get to the create level. Here, you're not just a user anymore, you're an innovator. You're the one leading the charge. To make this super concrete, let's just look at one example: AI pedagogy. Okay, so at the acquire level, you might just be looking at an AI tool and figuring out the pros and cons for your lesson plan. Simple enough. But fast forward to the create level. Now you're designing these incredible immersive learning experiences with AI that are pushing your students to think critically and solve really complex problems. I mean, it's a night and day difference, right? And all of this, every step of this journey, it all leads to this one central idea: becoming the teacher of the future. And this is so important. This is not about being afraid of getting replaced by a robot. This is about empowerment. It's about you becoming an even more effective, more dynamic educator because you have this incredibly powerful new tool in your toolkit. And that brings us to the real goal, the ultimate point of this entire framework. Is to protect the human heart of what we do. It's about making sure teachers' rights are safe and ensuring that no matter how fancy the technology gets, that meaningful, magical interaction between a teacher and a student always, always remains at the absolute center of it all. So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a question to chew on. Is all this AI stuff a threat to what you do, or is it maybe the most powerful new assistant you've ever had? What this framework suggests is that the choice is really up to us, and the future?
Friends, again, coming to the same questions, to understand whether it is friend or assistant. So the common concerns and misconceptions about AI is a natural educator always keeps on asking that will AI take my job? Because when AI started coming up, everywhere it has started saying AI will take up the jobs of the computer people or another. Same used to happen. I do remember almost 20, 25 years or maybe 30 years back when computers was about to come in India. The same way it has said that AI will take my job. Here, the same misconception has started. Will AI take my jobs? Will students stop thinking critically? Will technology overshadow the teacher? So, these all are the misconceptions. So, according to you, what is the answer for this particular question? Can anybody quickly?
Sir, what my understanding till now with this scenario and everything which I am observing with my observation, I have seen that every century and everywhere the new technology comes, we are not aware of the technology, how to use, we are scared of that. Once we become used to, for example, we are using chat gpt, once we become comfortable in using and we know how to use, we are aware about everything, then that concerns that decreases with time. When that adaptability is there, then only once you are the teachers, they are comfortable with the tools, the teachers, they are comfortable with ai, using ai, the chat gpt, the gamma, we are for example, we are making our slides with gamma, we have our content and we use gamma to make the slides with our content, then that is more helpful for. So we are making in this video, as I observe, that we have to be the future of the teacher of future. So we have to adapt these technologies, and then we will be the one, because we have that using that tools and using that in a better way, for that the whole session and everything which I understood from my observation.
Yeah, great. And someone has also mentioned very clearly on the chat, yes, it's a powerful tool. So the answer for this misconception is quite clear. AI is not replace the educators, but educators who use AI efficiently and effectively will redefine the education. Here, I would just like to give you the one example, that is, everyone has seen the movie like Koi Mil Gaya or Alien kind of movies. When aliens are coming, everyone feels that they are close, they are the, but slowly, steadily, when you are going to get it familiarized, when in Indian context, alien movie like Koi Mil Gaya, we are talking, slowly, steadily, one person gets familiarized, then multiple kids get familiarized, others get familiarized, and all. So that way it has happened. So it is more on the adoption. So as I have mentioned in the last paper a couple of minutes back, so it is going to change the transactional teacher to the transformational teachers. So we must not see AI as a threat, but rather we should see it as a partner. So just calculators did not eliminate the mathematics, and the online learning did not eliminate the classroom. So as generative AI will also not replace the educators, but rather it will elevate their role. So building educational institutional readiness, when we are going to talk about the building institutional readiness for generative AI, is to create the real impact. Adoption must go beyond individual enthusiasm. An institution must integrate AI training into faculty development programs, create clear institutional policies on ethical use, invest in secure, complement and accessible tools, encourage experimentation, pilot projects, and research around AI in the pedagogy or andragogy. Build communities of practice where the educators must share strategies to outcomes. Now, when it comes again to the India's opportunity for NEP 2020 or Viksit Bharat, so we can definitely this timing, this revolution is aligned beautifully with India's educational transforming under NEP 2020. The policy emphasizes the flexibility, technological integration, and learner-centric models. Generative AI can be a critical enabler for this particular reform. So, when we are going to see about the thing, this particular quote I do remember, Yantrena vina karya manvena siddhati. Yantrena vina karya manvena siddhati. That means machines. That means machines may perform the work, but only humans give it purpose. What? Yantrena vina karya manvena siddhati. That is, machines may perform the work, but we humans give it a purpose. When we human give it a purpose, and with this, I'm just concluding my session. Thank you very much for AIU, Atlas Skill Tech University, Sarika ma'am, Chintan Oza sir, for giving me this wonderful opportunity to talk or to deliver a keynote address in this particular FDP program. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. As we conclude the first session of the first today's inaugural session of the Faculty Development Program on AI tools for teaching and learning excellence, I take this opportunity to express our heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Berad and distinguished guest for their inspiring words and presence. A special thanks to Association of Indian Universities for partnering with Atlas Skill Tech University in this important initiative, and to our resource persons and participants for joining us from across the country. Your insights, energy, and engagement set the perfect tone for what promises to be an enriching week of learning and collaboration. On behalf of Atlas Skill Tech University and AIU, I extend my best wishes for a productive and impactful FDP ahead. Thank you, and wish you all have a wonderful day. Before we wind up the session, there's an important announcement that I would like to make. That as you can see, there is an attendance and feedback QR code on the screen, and also the link has been shared on the chat box. This is only for people who have registered officially for the FDP. The link will be shared day wise and session wise, which is compulsory to fill up. And this will only be shared on the Zoom chat on a daily basis. Please note, this will be shared on the Zoom chat on a daily basis. Please join the WhatsApp group for regular updates on the FDP. And the attendance is mandatory for all 5 days in order to be eligible for the final certificate. Please note, the next session is on prompt engineering for educators by Dr. Suman Madan, Professor at
Can I
Atlas
get,
Skill Tech University. The session is scheduled to start sharp at 3:30 p.m. See you then. Thank you very much, and thank you for joining in.
Sir, I just request all the participants to switch on their cameras to take a group photo.
Sarika ma'am, can we get the QR code? Just pin back.
Yeah, I just request everyone to, the link is there in the chat box. I request everyone to just switch on their cameras for a group photo. I hope team has taken the screenshot for the same. Yeah. Thank you so much, sir, and the participants for joining this FTP sessions. We'll resume at 3:30 sharp
Thank you.
on the same link.
Ma'am,
And
QR
I've
code
shared the
is not
chat.
on
I've
the
shared
chat
the
box.
WhatsApp. Yeah, it's there in the chat box. And I've shared the WhatsApp group link as well. So whoever has not joined, please join the WhatsApp group for regular update on the FTP. Thank you so much, everyone. See you at 3:30.
Okay, I'll share in the WhatsApp group.
So feedback link and the attendance link is the same. Your feedback link and attendance link is the same. If you can just see, I'll just share it again. The link has been shared.
I finished the Google form.